Call the meeting to order. Pledge allegiance, please. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Eichmann. Biesinger.
Present.
Voss.
Present.
Ekis.
Present.
Fry.
Present.
Gross. Present. Troller.
Present.
Throm.
Present.
We have a quorum.
All right, the first order of business is the approval of minutes. I just had 3 small changes. On page 3, under financials, under city administrator, just change R to were. And under 4, selection committee, second line to read assist her with the selection of the engineering firm. And then on page 5, under Bill Mullins, under roundtable discussion, the Mayor Grund offered prayers and thoughts. And those were my only 3 changes. Did anybody else have any changes? I would entertain a motion with the amendments made.
Move to approve the minutes of the regular July 10th, 2017 meeting of the City Council with presented amendments.
Is there a second? Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 7-0. Public comments. If there's anyone in the audience that would like to share, you're welcome to come to the podium. Give your first and last name, your address, and your ward. All right, we'll move on to business and discussion items. The first one's up is Michelle Weitzel and Wayne Cruzy.
Good evening. I'm Michelle Weitzel. I'm the tourism director, and Wayne Cruzy, the chairperson of our Convention and Tourism Committee.
Just so you're not confusing the two of them.
Right, because you've never met us before. We are here actually on behalf of multiple groups listed on the second page of our information: Tourism, Marysville Main Street, the Chamber of Commerce, the Arts Cooperative, and the Blue River Runners. As you would see in there, we have a schedule of activities planned for the Eclipse. On a side note related to this request, my phone, Brenda's phone, I think I can speak for so much, has been off the hook the last couple of weeks. I don't know if you all saw, we were on KSFT. I'm going to WIBW on August 9th. I've been getting calls from area radio stations. Obviously, the Advocate is just doing a great job of covering it. So if I keep telling people, if you don't know what's going on with the Eclipse, you're not looking in the right spots. And I don't mean that negatively, but I really hope that you all can see that there is just a lot being planned for this Sunday and Monday, and I sure hope that the folks that come visit Marysville feel welcome here and that they get a good impression of our community and will come back. So
I love this list of activities.
yeah. And stuff's getting added to it, it seems. The museums aren't listed on here. They're going to be open Sunday and Monday, and our downtown businesses are planning some really fun promotions and activities and things like that. So like I said, I think that no one will be bored, and I'm hoping that the people that are here in our community will really see that we're just such a nice place for them to visit for this weekend and other weekends. So the main requests, I guess, are for 2 locations for City Park, where the bulk of our activities will occur on Sunday. And then we have the viewing at Lakeview on Monday. I don't know if we need to go through things or if you all have any questions of us related to what we put in the letter.
I guess my question was, you want, do we have 26 picnic tables to accommodate all this?
Yeah.
That we don't have to...
We'll move stuff around, probably move some from places we're not going to be to these areas, but we have
enough
picnic tables.
that you don't have to move them Sunday night for Monday. We have enough for both days to be in place?
Yeah.
Okay. Glad to hear that. And then I guess I was on the second request, the no camping sign. I wasn't quite sure where you said the north side.
And maybe I phrased that a little wrong. The map,
the
sorry, the
curve.
map's from the Mother's Day market. It's the only map I had, so apologize for all the numbers. I was thinking they're like numbers 43 through maybe 59 all the way across there. We're gonna have, we wanna have places for people to sit during the Squirrel Jam Music Festival, as well as we'll need that electricity for the event itself.
Now, the Squirrel Jam is going to be in that area? I thought it
It's
was
gonna be
up at
down
Downstein.
where Simmons was at.
Oh, it is going to be down
Correct me
there,
if
okay.
I'm mistaken. Okay.
So-
With concrete steps.
Yeah, we're hoping people can sit there, and I told them
There's
that
no electrical hookups in that area anyway.
up top there is up there. Yeah, we put like our ice cream vendor and everything on the corner
Okay.
there
Up by the
for
bathroom.
the barbecue.
Yeah, I knew by the bathroom.
Yeah, around the
Okay,
corner.
so-
But I mean, for campers, there's no place for them to jump the curb there, though.
Yeah, I think it would be mostly tents and stuff
Yeah.
anyways.
Designated camping
But I
area.
just wanted like to put that there. I really anticipate our park being pretty full because, I mean, we have free, hookup and everything down there, and there's no way to know. I mean, you can't reserve it, but that'll be a big, corner for us, and then they can utilize the rest of the park as they see.
Okay, so from 43 to 61.
Does that
makes
make sense?
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you're asking that people be able to drink alcohol at the park. How do you guys feel about that?
I think it'd be fine as long as they keep it out of sight. I mean, don't walk around with a can wide open or anything.
Well,
Like the car show, usually it's kind of kept, it's not obvious. If you look for it, you can probably find it, but
the
it's
thing
not branded.
at the car show, and we have barricades at every entrance, and we put those signs that says no alcohol beyond this point. So how are you going to do this in a city park?
Well,
I talked to Todd about that today, Chief Ackerman, and he said I could speak for him since he's not here this evening. We talked about that, and his first comment was, all the events in Marysville that have beer, we never have any problems, so he doesn't anticipate any problems. And he said that he thought we would just rope off the area where beer is allowed, which is by, we're hoping that that's by where Squirrel Jam is at. That's the concept, is you can kind of sit around, listen to the musicians jamming, and drink a beer if you want to.
Not by the playground.
No,
and-
right, and not by the barbecue where the trellis people will.
So it will be like roped off. with
Absolutely, and then
tape or
that's where
something.
volunteers will be also, to kind of make sure people understand, here's where you can go, here's where you can't go.
So it's around the music festival, and there will be limitations so people know not to take it beyond that?
Yes,
Okay,
and people there to help explain that.
okay,
But I
great.
don't think it's reasonable to say they're not going to have an open can of beer.
Right, I'm
Would
not for
you-
sure what you meant by that, Bill.
Yeah, I
When
think
they
it's
go to that park, they go
probably-
sit and listen to music, they'll have.
Well, if it's roped off, I think that's great.
It's not walking around
okay.
the whole park, but
Yeah, I just
yeah.
didn't want them to wander across the street and just say, hey, there was no barricade that told me otherwise. So as
right.
long as it's marked up, I'm okay with that.
and are you requesting that just from 3 to 9 during Squirrel Jam?
Yes.
Yeah, they probably shouldn't be consuming those alcoholic beverages during glow and flow yoga. Although they could do it during the 5K. Look how
I was gonna say.
Yeah. I mean, it worked well for them. I would not be able to do that.
Okay.
How will the porta potties be paid for? The groups are participating?
Our hope is that the city will help with that.
I think that ought to come out of the funds
Tourism?
that are listed here.
Well, we figured you would say that, but we thought we'd try.
Oh, okay.
Well, the only thing we have control of is the transit guest tax, right? We can't control the rest of these people unless convention tourism are going to ask people to contribute. But we would probably just charge it out of the convention, transit guest tax fund and up to them to get the reimbursement? Is that what you're telling them?
I can obviously speak on behalf of Marysville Main Street, and I think I can speak on behalf of Brenda per other conversations related to the eclipse, and most likely those funds would come entirely out of tourism. The other groups are supporting with their own events and things, but probably not financially.
Oh, okay.
Is somebody going to be selling these glasses right before the event for those who have not bought theirs like I have bought mine already?
Assuming that we still have some in stock by then. I did hear today that Walmart has them. So hopefully if we run out, I don't wish that we would order a bunch and obviously get stuck with any. So I'm hoping that, we're kind of right at that cusp at the very end, sold out, but hopefully most everyone can get their
Well,
glasses.
how many have you ordered so far?
We have gone through, over 1,200. We got our 500 in today, and there were already so many that were spoken for. I've dropped 50 off at the porch swing, and they're already all gone in one day. So So I think I've underestimated how quickly they would go.
And what are they, pardon me, what are they selling for?
They are $1.
$1.
So we're not trying to make a bunch of money off of everyone. We just want everybody to have the proper eyewear for safety.
Absolutely.
And so that they understand that it's a really important event.
5 minutes before, they're $2.
Right? That's a businessman right there.
No.
Or maybe
$10.
10. Yeah,
I
and
can't
so you're
remember.
just really pushing that in all the things that you have to have glasses. Or
Yes.
I guess the advocates acknowledging that, so
Well, now
people,
even in national stuff, are you picking up like NASA has said these are the glasses you should have? There's just even more national.
And our glasses do have that specific ISO requirement because I have received many phone calls and emails about that. A lot of the, obviously, retailers were concerned, like, these are okay, right? We don't want to be giving these to our patrons, and they are, so.
And the school district is buying them for all the kids as well.
Yeah,
So
good.
that helps too.
okay. You guys have any other questions for these two? I would entertain a motion.
Move to approve the request as written from Convention Tourism for the eclipse, solar eclipse event.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 7-0. Michelle, as long as you're here, I was having this discussion with Austin and in our appropriations ordinance today is one of your payments, your half-year payment for Main Street that we make a contribution to. And we were thinking, can you, or do you, have you ever provided for us like a financial statement for Main Street?
I can't speak to whether they have in the past.
Okay, well-
But I'd be happy to look into that.
Yeah, I'm thinking that, since we do contribute significantly to that, I think it would be responsible of us to at least get a budget and maybe just semi-annual reports would be fine.
Okay.
Just so we can tell some people when they ask, what are those tax dollars used for? All of us would be versed in what they're used for.
Sure.
Is that fair enough?
Yeah.
Is that all right with you, council?
I think that's excellent.
Yeah, I talked to Austin and he would say the council would have to request that. So since Michelle was here tonight, so if you, and no hurry or anything, just kind of put it in the back of your mind, semi-annual and your budget for each year?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else for you, Michelle or Wayne? Okay. Well, thank you for coming.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for doing this great event. I'm kind of really getting excited. Marysville's going to be a buzz that day, a buzz. All right. Next one is Jerry Zimmerling.
Yeah, either, any.
I started and I stopped. I stopped.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So every year, Families First likes to give just a rundown of what our program has done since you guys are city council. We just give a rundown of what we've done in the community as well as the mentoring program that we have at school. And we just gave a rundown to the school board. And good news is that we have been renewed again. I ask every year, it's been for 1 year. We just completed our second school year of the mentoring program. And this year I asked at the board meeting if we could be extended for 3 years rather than every year. And the reason I asked is because we enroll when school starts and we recruit all through the summer, and having to go back every year and ask for approval makes it a little difficult. It puts us behind the 8 ball when we're trying to recruit for the next school year. So Bill Mullins and I are working on the MOU, which is the Memorandum of Understanding between our two programs again, and we will be renewed for 3 years. So that's a wonderful boast to our program.
Now, this is the Bulldog Buddies program, right?
Correct. It's part of Families First.
Okay, and I Mentor, is that something else?
No, I Mentor is the Bulldog Buddies program.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So what it is a mentoring. It's a school-based mentoring program. So all of the kids, this is Paige Aller. She is one of the OG of the BB. She's original Bulldog Buddies member. And this is her match, Merrick. And they have been matched for both years. And they will be matched. Paige sent me the nicest request before school ended, and she asked if she could remain matched with Merrick until she graduates high school, until Paige graduates high school.
Now, Paige, are you going to be a senior this year?
I'll be a junior this year.
So you would actually be matched for 3 years?
Yep, 4.
4 years?
Yep.
You started doing it as a freshman?
Yes.
Oh, why did I think it was just for seniors? It was always for all people in high school?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
It's freshman through senior. They have to be recommended by the school counselor and a teacher
Ah,
to be
okay.
a mentor. We make sure that they're in good standing with the school, that they're in good grades. If they get in trouble throughout the school year, whether it's for drugs or anything involving any criminal activity, then we rematch because they have
Now-
to set an
Now,
example.
Merrick, are you okay with that? For Paige to be your... I just want to make sure. You asked both parties, yeah.
I'll give you a rundown, and then they have a little, Paige wanted to say a little something, and then you guys can ask questions. We also have Jessica, Merrick's mom here, and she can answer any questions as well. Yeah. So for our school year, our very first year we started, we had 30 buddies, which is the elementary school students, and this year we had 36. We had 33 high school mentors, which are the Bulldogs, and this year we had 42. So we're seeing a rapid increase. We had a really good problem. We had more high school mentors than we did elementary school mentees. That's a really good problem to have because then we use that handful of extra high school mentors for when the match didn't, like just say Paige was sick one day, we always had someone that could step in and sit with Merrick for that 45 minutes at school. We had 21 of them, of the elementary school students, 21 of them showed improvement in their absences. 3 of them showed improvement in their tardies, and we had a 0.7 GPA increase. So granted, we do it K through 6th is the elementary school student, is the buddy, and K through 2nd grade do not have a grade point average. We were able to log their attendances and their absences, but they don't have a grade point, so it doesn't factor in that way. For our program overall, for Families First overall, so what we started out as is we were offering financial classes, parenting classes, fatherhood classes. We had a whole slew of classes, and actually Todd was our fatherhood coordinator. We had a whole slew, and then we had noticed a couple other programs in the community were also offering similar programs. So rather than duplicating, we've kind of evolved. We started our mentoring program, and what we do now is if you are enrolled in Families First, to be considered active. So anyone can enroll in a program. You can sign up for any program you want. We did not want to see people coming to the program and getting something for nothing. So it's not like we wanted to hand them a whole bag of basic care need items or formula wipes and diapers and have them not do anything to better their situation. So what we ask is they have to be considered active, they have to perform 1 hour of community service within Marshall County at a nonprofit. That includes doing a financial session with the Extension Office. It can include doing a parenting class at the Lincoln Center. It can involve helping out with Habitat for Humanity, anything, but they have to have that hour to be considered active and to be eligible for anything that we give them. Or they can have a child enrolled in Bulldog Buddies, and that makes them active for the year. So last year we served 149 families, which was 343 individuals. So far this year, we're at 136 families and 313 individuals. So we're going to surpass what we did last year. We give a scholarship out with Bulldog Buddies every year. Last year we had a tie between 3 of them, so we gave out 3 scholarships. This last year, Katie Scott received the scholarship. Wonderful mentor. She was in it her junior and senior year, the first 2 years that we had it, and she went to state in one of her organizations, and she's going off to college, so they're going to keep in touch, which is wonderful. We assist in emergency situations. We're helping a couple who had their living arrangements kind of pulled out from under them. We've helped with another individual that had a fire. We've helped with 2 medical emergencies, which included giving a gas card so they could get to and from the hospital in Topeka for their child. We do holiday meals for Thanksgiving and Christmas. We've helped with medical equipment, job searches, resume building, and our mentoring program. And we've partnered with a number of businesses in the community and restaurants. So we're able to provide some of our families some meals throughout the year as well. Actually, twice a week we receive some foods and we distribute them accordingly. We don't receive any state or federal monies. We haven't applied for any grants, and we do that on purpose. It's because what you get into the habit of as a nonprofit is you start chasing grants. So you start making programs just to satisfy that grant. When that grant runs out, then you're stuck with not having that money, and then you get another program, you start another program so that you can get more grant monies. So ever since our induction, we're celebrating 5 years this year. We have not gotten any state or federal monies. We haven't asked city council, nor have we asked the county commissioners. We don't ask for money. We just like to give you a rundown so you know kind of what's going on in your community. But this year is a little different. So every year we have our Glow Pool Party, which falls wonderfully on the eclipse weekend. We are the Saturday before everything kicks off on Sunday. We have our Glow Pool Party, and we always give out a pool pass every year. So we pay the city for the pool party, and we pay the city by purchasing a pool pass. This year, we are asking that the city consider not obliging us to pay for the pool party. It would help us out. We are in turn buying a pool pass every year anyway for our kids, and we've helped 2 families in the last 5 years purchase a family pass for their family. But it would help our program because it's one of the few fundraisers that we do. We have our quarter auctions and we have our Glow Pool Party. That's it. That's how we sustain our program every year. And it's not a whole ton of money, but it is when you're a nonprofit and you don't get state or federal monies. So with that, as you contemplate that, I will let Paige speak.
Yeah, my name is Paige. This program, the Bulldog Buddies, it's been a lot to me, not only just for my match with Mir, because like we have a bond and it's amazing how I can be like, she looks up to me and I think that's amazing. But I was in a program similar to this when I was younger. It was a Big Brothers Big Sisters, but this is the same kind of, but it's also different. I was matched, and my match and I still talk today. She had invited me to her wedding, and I think that's super awesome how something like that can keep going on and on just from a simple program when I was little that led up to this huge bond that I have. And I think that's super awesome. I look at that relationship that I have with her, and I think that Merrick and I have a good chance to have that relationship. And I think it's just super awesome to have that kind of constant bond between someone that you kind of have a relationship with, but you're not like family like that. Yeah. Do you have anything you want to say?
So Merrick, do you have to get up early for this program? Do you meet before school?
Before school, but like when you're almost at the end, like breakfast starts.
Okay, but I think I heard Jason Wheeler, Principal Jason Wheeler, say that, you have to come early, right, Paige?
Yep.
So you have all these high school students as well as these lower school students coming early just to have a new relationship in their lives. So I think that's awesome.
Yep, and I think it's totally worth it.
So is Paige worth getting up for, Merrick? Okay, that's a good statement. Jessica, did you want to say something?
I was just going to say that, and you kind of answered that, talked about it, is that all through the week I have to beg my kids to get up in the morning to go to school, especially her, she's not a morning person. But on Bulldog Buddy Day is an exciting day. And it's been a real joy for me to just see her get excited about, getting to go in, and I hear all about Paige and how wonderful she is, and she buys her gifts and does nice things for her. So I think that's awesome, and she really enjoys it. I think it's a great program, and I would be really sad to ever see anything ever happen to the program, and as far as my son Eli, he has Asperger's, and so he socially struggles anyway, and he'll be going into junior high this year, but he's been a part of the program the last couple of years as well, and that has been tremendous for him, because he struggles with having friends, period. So that was something that he could count on. It was going to be there, and he's always enjoyed it, and he's always talked real highly of his Bulldog Buddy, and And so,
Now, is his buddy still going to be in high school when he goes to junior high? Or did his buddy graduate?
She was actually the recipient of the scholarship.
Oh, she graduated, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But he will probably recognize some of the faces from Bulldog Buddies when he's in junior high and high school, so that's kind of nice.
yeah.
Elijah will be in 7th grade. So he kind of aged out of Bulldog Buddies because it's K through 6.
Right.
But then 7th and 8th, they take a break, and then 9th, they become mentors themselves if they choose.
Cool. Well, I think it's a great program, so thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Did you guys want to vote upon this waiving the fee, or do you want to talk about it next week? It's your call.
I'm okay with it. I don't think, I mean, it's not money directly. I mean, it's like they're asking for us to contribute directly. It's kind of an in-kind contribution, I think, for their efforts.
So do you want to make a motion?
If the pool is available.
Do you already have it reserved?
We reserve it every year. It was the Sunday before school starts, and we've moved it to the Saturday so that other schools could also be included because they start earlier sometimes than Marysville.
I move to approve the request to waive the pool party fee for families of First Marshall County.
Second.
Any discussion?
Discussion?
Yeah?
One, approximately how many people participate, and two, how many lifeguards does it require?
I don't know how many lifeguards it requires, but we have about 200 people come every year.
So 6 lifeguards.
Well, that's what we usually have anyway. Don't we have 6 on duty all the time?
Private parties?
No, but don't we normally have 6 or
About
7?
seven.
Yeah.
6 or 7.
Yep.
Will college be started by then?
That's the last weekend. She's scheduled out to, that's the last available weekend.
Before all the guards leave?
Before all the,
Or go to school?
Before it goes to school and before we go to weekends only. She's scheduled out. I think she's already planned. If they've already reserved it, I think we'd be good.
I think it's a great program. I've only heard good things about it, so. Any other discussion? No. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 7-0.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for mentoring the kids.
Yeah.
All right, the next item is the budget hearing, and at the budget meeting, we changed it just a little bit, so it's laying on your desk. The only change was that transfer number in 2018. So what we're going to do is approve to have this published. I guess we'd call this as amended, Austin?
As amended.
As amended, we would vote to have that published in the newspaper. It'll be published at the next Wednesday, next week's.
This week, yeah.
And then we will, at the next meeting, we will have the budget hearing on it.
Move to approve the notice of budget hearing in this week's Advocate.
I second it.
And is there any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 7-0. All right. I am not aware of any notices or hearings. There is a list of convention and tourism requests on page 11 for the consent agenda.
Move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 7-0. The next item is the appropriations ordinance.
Move to approve appropriations ordinance 3655.
Second.
Any discussion?
I don't know why we're paying for 2 people to go to Rotary Club and we only pay for 1 on all these other civic organizations. I mean, they got 1 for St. John's and Ackerman, and I don't see the benefit of 2 of them are going to Rotary Club, to the city. That's my opinion.
Any other thoughts about that?
Oh, I think it's a great place for both the city administrator and the chief of police to network. And we have a lot of programs that, since I'm a Rotarian, I should say that, that I think are beneficial to them in learning about, different things out in the community.
In full disclosure, I'm also a Rotarian.
And I'm a Rotarian, but I pay for my fees.
As do I.
So do I.
You know, they do, I mean, I can see it from the Rotary side. They both, I think, bring and probably glean slightly different things from Rotary. Chief Ackerman had the program today, and it was Senator Elaine Bowers from Concordia. And, you know, usually his programs tend towards this public safety and that kind of thing, kind of, you know, explain that to the community. I think that's part of the police force outreach and community involvement side of things, whereas, you know, having our city administrator, I think, brings more of the technical nature of city business writ large. I mean, it's not necessarily commentary on paying for it, but they do both bring something to the club, and I would hope they also appear to get information from the club.
Well, I have had an opinion on this for many years now, and the previous mayor asked me if I did not think that these organizations were worthwhile being members of, and my answer was absolutely, they are worthwhile. But I do not think that city taxpayers should be paying for these memberships or for their meals. I added up the meals, and they added up to almost $1,000 a year. And we are represented at the club meetings by Councilwoman Boss, Councilman Fry, Councilman Ekus, no, and Mayor Grund. I think that the chief of police, as was explained to me, and the city manager, city administrator, were asked to represent the city at a time when nobody attended those. So we were kind of keeping our finger on the pulse. And like I said, I thought that keeping our finger on the pulse was councilman's responsibility, in that we have a line at City Hall that anybody could call and ask questions or report anything, and they can call any councilman. Our numbers are published, and I have a hard time paying for lunches once a week for two people that add up to almost $1,000 a year, when I have people in my ward that aren't eating as well. And I think that, yes, the organizations are worthwhile, but I think the organizations are worthwhile if the city administrator and the chief of police have to pay for their own meals or their own memberships. And if you're going to divide the two apart, I wouldn't have as hard a time paying for the membership as I do paying for the meals every week.
Well, I might mention, since I'm secretary treasurer, that the dues are $110 a year, and the meals are $8.75. This quarter, the meals are $96 a person.
And on
For the whole quarter.
On our agenda here, or in our approval list for payment, is the Marysville Rotary Club for luncheon fees and semi-annual dues for St. John and Ackerman for $302. I'm just saying, I've been accused of swatting at gnats, and that is looking after the nickels, the dimes, the quarters, and the dollars, but they all add up.
And that would be for the whole quarter.
Okay, it's a quarter.
July 1st through, let me see, what is it? September.
Which ends up about $1,000 a year. I don't think that's gnats. Not quite, you're right. You're right. But that's my opinion on it. I kind of stand with Councilman Schroeder as to why we're paying for this. Yes, they're worthwhile, but the mayor's paying for hers. Councilwoman Boss is paying for hers. Councilman Fry is paying for his.
Well, if you're offering.
Well, I can see paying for one, but I can't see paying for two.
Well, maybe membership, yes, but I don't think we should be paying for meals.
I think I'm not a member, but I have attended as a presenter, and I don't know how often the council members, you go quite frequently, I think, don't you? And I think you do, but I think anything we can do to encourage our city staff to participate, I guess I see the council members and the mayor being a little bit different than city staff. So I think anything we can do to encourage their participation.
Well, I think that they have to want to participate.
Yeah.
I don't think a free meal should be the incentive. I think if they want to participate, they can join as a member, as everyone else does. Not as a perk of their job or at the expense of taxpayers.
respectfully disagree. So,
Noted.
but it's,
Well, do either of you want to make any kind of motion to see the,
Was there waiting for the council to be seated before doing this?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Just a discussion item.
just a discussion, okay,
Thank
just
you.
wanted to make sure. Okay, anything else regarding the appropriations ordinance? Okay, roll call, please.
Biesinger,
Yes.
Boss,
Yes.
Ekis.
yes.
Fry,
Yes.
Gross,
Yes.
Stroller,
Yes.
Tromp.
Yes.
7-0.
All right. Austin, you're up.
All right, Lead Arm Art Center, the HVAC is in need of replacement. We originally budgeted it for next year, but it kind of moved itself up. I went out and got quotes, and this is how I did it. And I didn't have specs on the system itself, so I had basically queried 4 different organizations, seeing if they were interested. They were all interested to bid. Only 3 of them showed up, though. And I let them in to the art center, let them use their expertise to design the system as they saw fit because of their experts in their own equipment. And then they each supplied a standard quote. And that's what the first line in my spreadsheet is their standard quote, option 1 from each one of them. One of them, Otts Electric, decided to throw in a high efficiency option if we so chose. Basically, since it got moved up, we didn't have the budget funds in this year, so I'm recommending whatever we choose to take it out of MER and then paying it back next year, which I have already set up pending your approval in the next year's budget. Let's see. With that, the total of these would be split between the city and MCAC as far as costs. We have an agreement with them that stipulates we pay for the outside, they pay for the inside, so I split it as such. And that's why it's not a 50-50 split in it. But anybody have any questions on it?
Well, I have a comment. As being in a business that does bids, it's always a little upsetting when you're asked for a bid based on certain requirements, and then somebody throws in, oh, we've got this other, what do you think about this possibility?
Well, that's kind of why I go, I didn't drive the discussion. I go, what do you think should go in here? And they throw their best case scenario. They go, okay, this is what I got. I have to admit, Alan from Otts likes to throw curveballs every once in a while. But that's why I put down 2 options in my thing. If you want to go with lowest bid, we can go with lowest bid. If you want to go with high efficiency,
I like high efficiency, I just wish we had 3 high efficiency
I
options.
mean, that's the only
That's
problem.
what
You
you
should have
do.
given these other guys a chance to say they had high efficiency and see what they would.
Well, we can reject all the bids and go back and request that.
I think that'd be the way to go.
I did too.
Are you okay with that?
Okay.
Is that a consensus of council? So what we want
Now it
is,
is.
we've just
Public record.
rejected them all and asked them to come back with a bid for high efficiency. Oh, are you guys all want to do high efficiency
I
based
think
on the
it's the way
price?
to go.
I think for the marginal amount more it
But wait,
costs.
but is that, but because we already published
I know.
That was
one
my point.
bid, I
Well,
think that's,
Well, we can reject them all and they come back. They have the option of, we're not making them, Auto Electric, stay at that bid. They're welcome to change it, right? Do you,
just
that's
think
as
it's
fair
a
as
little
we
bit
can
of-
go at this point, right, Austin?
yeah, I mean, you know.
They brought it.
They brought it now that we have to, so I think we'll go back and bring it to the next meeting. Is that, there's no urgency to do this like right tonight.
No,
Is the air conditioner working?
the air conditioner's working.
Okay, all right. So you'll bring back 3 bids for high
We just need
efficiency?
the furnace for winter.
We don't need it right now.
yeah, we do need that.
Also,
Okay.
on the option B, on the high efficiency, is that gonna be the scope for everybody else to bid against? To bid to? The exact, like the 135,000 BTU?
No, well,
They will offer their own high efficiency numbers? We're not bidding apples and apples then?
He stuck that in there just to stick it in there.
They tell you what
wasn't
the
asked to
efficiency
bid on
is,
that.
so you're probably gonna have to put the efficiency rating on the
I'll
quote.
put-
For everybody else to bid
Yeah.
equally?
Vicki, he's the one that made the mistake by sticking it in when he wasn't asked to bid
Yeah.
on that.
But if somebody calls something a high efficiency, do they have the 135,000 BTU? I'm saying.
But the standard one above it's still 135 BTU.
That's not the high efficiency part. It's the AC version of it. It's the
The cased coil set?
the 16 SEER versus the 13 SEER.
So
And
are you gonna
that's
have
the rating.
everybody
So you're gonna ask
16
everybody to bid
16
16 SEER?
Okay, so everybody's
Well,
gonna bid.
they may not have they may have a different, it may not be a 16.
That's what I'm saying.
They have to just, I think he bid his most efficient ones, they're gonna have to bid their most efficient unit, and then we need to be able to say, well, this is a 16 versus a quote for a, say, a 15.
Okay,
So that's,
what you consider high efficiency.
Yeah.
and
So
to offer.
basically what I'm going to take back to them, and I'm gonna say, we rejected it all, we want a high efficiency version, at least 16 SEER. And they can throw back, we'll only get 3, I'll tell them we only want 1 bid, and then want it for high efficiency. That way, we're basically starting over.
And we want to know what their high efficiency numbers are. What
Statistics.
is to the, yeah. We want to know what their high efficiency unit is.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell them at least 16 SEER, because that's what Odd kind of threw at us. Because everything besides the AC unit, because that's the price change right there, is pretty much the same.
I don't see 16 SEER on here anyway.
All the way, this option B,
On page
I'm looking at
19,
option B.
quantity 2 elite, 16 SEER right below the
I
bold.
see it. Thank you.
Yep,
Thank you.
I'll take that back.
okay, I think that's the right way to handle that. All right. Next item?
All right, next item is the Kester Restaurant Steps bid, and this was a long time coming. I've been searching for somebody to actually take care of this. I had 2 people interested. They kind of just dropped me. Maybe they got a little bit busy, but I found these guys, Randy and his crew, happenstance because they were already working on the historic courthouse. I called the courthouse, they gave me the information, I asked them if they would give these guys a reference, and they said yes, we are very pleased with them. And they have other sites that they've worked on locally, and I forget the list that they had. But they bid it, they found the stone that matches, they said they've done historic sites elsewhere, obviously, and the best part is they come within our expected price range.
And it is the exact same steps for the stone for the steps, because wasn't that the problem before? That stone was super special and the quarry was closed.
I could have, the sample is in my trunk, so it looks exactly like it. The stone company out of Wamego took 3 weeks to figure out what it was. So they were right on top of it. You put that on top of the good part of the steps and you can't tell the difference. So he brought, and I was wondering why he brought just that, because he could match, apparently he could match the limestone around it with the whatever, but it took a few calls between him and the stone company to get it figured out.
It's been needing repaired for quite some time.
To be completed this year?
Yes. He said, he gave me the indication that he could start whenever, but it takes 3 weeks to get the stone in. And besides that, he would take the stairs out, and we talked about the contingency. He'd take the stairs out, we'd put the cement in, we'd do that ourselves, and then he would create a temporary set of stairs to put in while he's not working. He indicated that he would work when the restaurant wasn't busy or wasn't occupied, and use the
alternative stairs.
Yeah, when it is. So they take out the stairs, work, put them back, while it's in use. And if that doesn't work, there's other options.
We've communicated to the renters that we're doing this, right?
I haven't sat down with them, but yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they should be grateful, but we just need to give them a heads up that we're going to do
Yes,
this.
definitely.
And I also told Austin, I would just prefer a more formal bid than this because it just says estimate and it's not sent to the city. So he emailed Randy and Randy emailed back and said he would send us a formal bid
When he got
to the
back home.
city,
Yeah.
but with these numbers.
Yeah.
And if providing the numbers agree, you would be okay for me to sign
Okay, then it just says estimate, so, yeah, we definitely
make a
want it
more
carved
formal
in
bid.
stone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
carved
No,
in stone.
Is it good there?
I asked him, he said he'd give me a more formal bid. Yep.
So, provided we got a copy of a formal bid that looked with these same numbers, can we go ahead and have a motion to proceed so he can order the stone?
Move to approve the, contract with Randy, right?
Record?
To replace the front steps on the Kester restaurant, pending a formal bid that matches the quoted price, and authorize the mayor to sign.
Is there a second?
To come from?
Huh?
To come from?
Oh, thank you.
Industrial fund.
Industrial fund.
Second.
Thank you.
And along with that, you want to go ahead and tell them what we're doing with the industrial fund?
Okay, so we've been taking the airport apron out of the industrial fund, but it's racking up, even with the reimbursements, it's racking up the budget authority. So we're going to move all of that's already been into industrial over to capital improvement, into a non-budgeted fund. That way we don't have to worry about the budget authority being used up and use the industrial fund to pay for this.
So did you follow that? The industrial fund is a budgeted fund, and we had $114,000 limit. We've already spent $76,000 on the airport, so we didn't have budget authority for this. So we opted, since the airport is going to have a lot more in and out, with the monies being reimbursed by FAA that we going to transfer to capital improvements. So in the industrial fund will only be this plus the Main Street that we just approved in the appropriations ordinance and the real estate taxes for the most part. But we'll definitely be under the $114,000 budget authority. Okay? So that's why the industrial fund works. Yes, Vicki?
We're talking about industrial fund, but all we're doing right now is moving forward for him to submit a formal bid, right?
Yeah, we just wanted to explain that there were monies in the industrial fund for this, since that's how the motion read.
No, but we're approving the mayor to sign without us voting again. So
A formal bid with these exact numbers on it.
we're voting to approve this amount.
So we can get the rock and stuff ordered. and get it
Yeah,
done
so we can get the
before
stone
winter gets here.
ordered.
Okay. All right. Do we have a second? Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
6-1. All right. Austin, did you have anything else?
We talk about something else?
We talked about Main Street, but I did it when Michelle was here.
Okay. I don't think I had anything else.
We can go ahead and, you want to talk about this now?
Oh, yeah. Never mind, I don't need anything else. Airport apron, the contract came in from our engineers between us and the contractors. And to get also this thing moving, I'd like this to be approved pending attorney approval, because we've already sent it to Craig to move forward. And from what I've been reading, this is a pretty standard contract where with bonds and sureties to make sure they get their work done within a certain amount of time, and so that we can, and it says we can pull money from whatever we owe them if necessary, or we can pull it from the surety bond or anything like that. So we are safeguarded in this whole thing. But like I said, I believe this is a pretty standard contract.
So it would be approving the contract plus the surety bond plus a payment bond. Those are the three things I have to sign, pending Craig Olson, city attorney's approval that everything looked okay.
He has all the other documents that it's referenced, and I...
We sent
Yeah,
the entire, and if
sent
you
them,
want to
yeah.
see them.
If you-
No, we reviewed them, and he's, okay.
Yep.
There's a copy in City
I
Hall.
think we talked
And you're welcome to read it. Craig's, obviously, we just sent it to Craig today because you just received it today.
I got it this afternoon, yes.
So pending city attorney says it's good to go. I would entertain a motion.
Move to approve the Emery Sap and Sons contract with the city of Marysville for the airport improvements. Project number 3-20-0053-010, upon approval by our attorney,
Including the surety bond and the payment bond.
including surety bond and payment bond.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion?
It's coming from.
Oh, this is a capital outlay.
This is the capital.
This is the one that's being transferred to capital.
Or capital improvement, sorry, capital improvement.
So all the expenses, and as you can see, it's $510,000, and all the money will come in and out as the expenses are incurred in that fund. And it should be easier to track with them all there anyway for future years and footnotes for the budget. Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 7-0, thank you very much. Anything else, Austin?
Nope.
Okay, did you have anything, Debbie? All right, moving along to street. Greg Shaley was at the Feld Field on Sunday afternoon and requested that we put the welcome flags out for the American Legion Baseball State Tournament that's going to be here on Wednesday. So if you guys are okay with that, we'll put the welcome signs up. Can you get that done this week, Austin? This tournament starts Wednesday, so tomorrow really is the day to do it. What are you doing tomorrow? Are you having a well tomorrow?
Chip and seal.
Can the cemetery and parks guys get in, put the flags up, or it does have to be
They
street?
could put them out Wednesday morning.
We could put them out Wednesday morning.
Okay,
We'll try our best.
okay, that's fine. They just,
We can commandeer a truck and council can do it.
there you go. Watch out then.
He's at the top of the ladder.
No liability
I
there.
seen them guys pull up on them curbs and stand up on the edge. Ain't gonna be me.
I was gonna say, are you volunteering there, Denny?
I'll try.
Okay, so thank you for doing that. I know they appreciate it. I think we're gonna have a big crowd, as long as I'm talking about that. I went by on Saturday and all I could see was a concession stand and go, man, I wish that was painted. And I was actually thinking about you guys coming tonight and saying, you guys, we should go paint that. Well, Saturday morning, Sunday afternoon, I drove by there and it's painted. So I pulled up, Dave's working on the the scoreboard, and I go, who painted the concession stand? And he said, Greg and Tim Shaley of the Shaley's Meat Market, he said, of course, got up Sunday morning and painted it. It looks so nice. And then Brian was there, Brian Frogwell, and was pointing out to me how they've, put a new mound, pitcher's mound, and they, across the top of the outfield fence, they put a yellow line so it kind of accentuates it. And with our new press box and our new stadium seating, it looks really nice. So, and one more thing I should say is that they said that there was all these kinds of trees between, there's a fence, a metal fence and a wooden fence near Cumrose, and they said there were all kinds of trees and stuff, and the cemetery and parks guys came and did an excellent job to clean it all up. So that's really good when you hear residents come and say, I just want to point out that they've done a really good job. So thank you for Tim and Greg, and thank you for the cemetery and parks. So, and I might as well follow up. Marysville Place, Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. That's the first time Marysville plays, so I hope you guys go out and cheer our boys on. So, okay, with that being said, anybody else got streets? Okay, water and wastewater? The only thing I want to know, can we get, I know they're doing fire hydrants and flow testing, which I'm excited about because I know it's one of those maintenance things that never got done in the past. But can you kind of give us some kind of status report, like how many fire hydrants we have and how many?
We're gonna get one after the end. I talked to Kent about this. I asked him to take pictures before and after, and then we should have a report on how many, because we're going to be doing other things as well, following the fire hydrants pending if we have enough staff. We'll also be exercising valves.
Yeah, because I know that was two things that needed to be done. So I just kind of like status reports on how they're coming along. And I mean, they look great.
They look really nice.
What's status on North Street water line looking like?
North Street, August 2nd.
Start date.
Start date, August 2nd. We've already sent out notifications to the people along that route.
The landowners, which
Yes.
is nice.
And it should be limited to no, I mean, there's going to be some interruption, but they're boring most of it. So the only interruptions we anticipate is when they move to the new line.
And we shouldn't have a problem like Emporia, because
I talked to Ken about that. We have two lines running from our plant. One to, how we describe this? Basically, he described it and said, it's designed hopefully not to happen like that. So I kind of made sure we're not going to have a shortage of water. We might have low pressure if one of those breaks, but ideally we would not go without water.
Ideally.
Nothing wrong with that.
One question. So a couple meetings ago, we talked about the water loss, and I think we never really came to terms with that. It would seem that Kent was suggesting that maybe it was not a true water loss problem, but it was a measurement problem.
We did, and I apologize for not bringing this back because we had already talked about this, me and the mayor. It was a looking at the wrong number error. We have actually a water loss within the recommended sections. It was just a misplacement of numbers, I guess, is all I can describe it as.
Why don't you provide us with that report? And I know you guys make adjustments to the report based on things you know, but just show it to us. It'd be interesting. to see.
Yeah, we'll get one next.
And a comparison for
Or
last year.
actually, we can send that.
The other question I have, the sewer line that I guess scrapes the east side of Marysville where they're putting the new pits and stuff on over here. How are they doing on that project?
You mean the manholes?
Oh, the manholes. They were in the middle of it. I don't know if B&W had gotten to the end of it. They've charged us for most of it.
We paid
So they're-
$24,000.
They're gaining on it.
Yeah. It's,
No, I just didn't know how far along they got on it. I seen them down there working the other day, and
Yeah, this appropriations ordinance had 26,000.
they were moving, and I forget how much the total was.
Is it about 55? Is that what manholes was 55,000?
I have to look at it again, but they started on the one at the end of 17th and just got to go, and they were working on it. I
curious how they were doing on it.
Doing pretty good. There's only been one problem I've heard of. They had to put a little bit on the very first one. They had to put some cement, extra cement around it.
Make it higher, right?
No, not make
Not
it
to
higher,
rise?
but down at the bottom there was places where water could get in, not just in the creases, but where the pipe goes in. So they had to put a little bit more concrete around those fittings to keep it from leaking in. So,
But they already had an adjustment on that when we had a pay order on that.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Just the extra cement and a little bit more work on it.
Okay. Parks and Rec, the new scoreboard is up, right, Denny?
It's up, but I found one piece missing that was supposed to be there. It should be here tomorrow.
So we're still hoping that it works for the tournament.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, you know, when I was talking to Brian Froggle, he said that 7 of the 8 teams that are going to be here are spending the night, are staying in Marysville hotels, and the Marysville hotels are full from this tournament.
3 of them are coming early because
Yeah.
they're further away, and the rest of them will be staying here.
So that's really nice, so I hope Marysville shows them great hospitality, and it's really nice to know they're bringing some sales tax dollars to the city.
Yes.
Okay. And one last thing I should say, when I was talking to Brian Froggle, he said that Blue Valley TV gave free Wi-Fi for Feld Field during this tournament for all the spectators. So thank you, Blue Valley TV. It was something they brought to the table, so that was really nice. Okay, Cemetery and Parks, I'm sorry, Cemetery and Airport. Police and Fire, Admin and Finance.
This isn't exactly under administration, but since the mayor skipped over in ordinances and hearings,
I'm sorry. Did I say that quickly? No,
on
no.
July 13th, the Planning Commission met and they approved 2 site plans. They approved for Habitat for Humanity, a 24-foot by 50-foot addition on the east side, and that will be for a receiving area. And then for O'Reilly Auto Parts, there's 6.5 acres located between Pizza Hut and Walmart where they plan to build. And they approved their site plan. There will be 30 parking spaces, but 17 of those they will share with Pizza Hut. There won't be a separation. Now, the entrance to O'Reilly Auto Parts can only be entered if you're westbound. If you're eastbound, you have to enter through the Pizza Hut, and that will also be the only exit.
And Pizza Hut has agreed to that.
Yes, they've signed a
I
agreement.
can't wait to witness an accident.
And then also, O'Reilly will provide an underground stormwater storage.
Oh, that's good to know, because it was kind of some low points there.
How are they gonna
Should have built a frontage road.
limit somebody from turning
Off the highway,
off
going
the
into there,
highway?
I mean,
When
You
you get
say
hit,
no
your
all
car
you
can't
want
really-
to.
The way the site plan map, it shows the entrance, being kind of a,
Do you have a picture?
but
Oh, the
The
entrance will
diagram of
curve from the...
will curve, but I don't know how that will stop.
Don't they realize most of the traffic will be from the west?
So, but KDOT approved it. Is that right?
That's only what KDOT would approve.
Brilliant.
Okay.
My other question is, isn't that a drainage area through there?
yeah.
That's why the stormwater storage is important.
Yeah.
They're gonna have some kind of a bladder system underneath the store.
Oh, awesome.
Hey, they work.
Bladders?
Yeah. They work, it'll work underneath that store.
Okay, good to know.
All right.
Good to know.
It's kind of interesting.
All right, thank
I still
you.
think there's better
Thank you
locations.
for reporting that. Anything else from admin and finance? As far as I know, there's no appointments or wage determinations, no city attorney, no executive session. Anybody have executive session? So the only thing is roundtable. Believe it or not, and I think I shared everything already for my roundtable, so Bill.
Hey, I got some compliments about the gravel we're putting down on the, it's
Chip
not
and
near
seal?
as dusty. People are pretty happy with it.
Good.
Not as much dust, I definitely agree.
Should be better next year.
Anything else?
That's it.
Darlene?
Nothing further.
Brad? Todd?
Are we done with the Monarch cleanup? Walter Monarch's property?
Yes.
Monarch?
Monarch. Okay. Somebody asked me the other day and I said I never heard that we were done, but it's better, I think.
Better, but it looks like he's starting to move stuff back in again.
Well, that's just part of our ongoing code assessment and nuisance assessments, so we just have to keep an eye on all of them, right, Darlene?
Yes, I've got a list.
Of course.
To share with Dave after he gets the scoreboard with me. Okay, Vic?
Oh wait, one more thing, so I'm just not all negative. I have noticed at least a handful of people now at the new Black Squirrel Interpretive site.
Have you seen
Driving
people
by, I
there?
drive around town quite a bit. I've seen at least a half dozen people there taking pictures or reading it and doing things, so it's good that it's
Awesome.
getting some attention.
Awesome. All right, Vic?
Saturday, I attended, excuse me, the tour of the 5 properties downtown. Marysville Main Street, Marysville Chamber of Commerce, and Marshall County Partnership for Growth sponsored a building tour. And we walk by these buildings all the time, and I hadn't been in some of them. I hadn't been upstairs to see the apartments above them. That's a lot of space up above these buildings. But I think this is a good program. It's the first of its kind here in Marysville. Hope we continue it. But it makes us aware, and a lot of people participated in this. They had a realtor at each site, and so they got handouts of the size and asking price and a tour of the possibilities, what it could be used for. I don't think there's anybody who wants to come into Marysville with a retail or downtown business that couldn't use or find a place to fit in downtown Marysville. So I say thanks to these organizations, and hope that we continue to do this kind of thing to promote our downtown so we don't have empty buildings. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thanks. Denny?
I have nothing.
Kevin? All right. Well, I will entertain a motion.
Did your
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
This is a
7-0.
Isn't this a record?
8:05.
As I say every single time, Vicki,